Hey guys, so I have you strapped into my sun visor CD holder thing, you know, the things from the early 2000s that for some reason I still have. So that's why it looks like I'm not looking at you, but I swear that I am. Actually, I'm looking at the road, which I should be. Which also means the sun is directly in my eyes, but whatever, you guys are worth it. Anyway, something I've been thinking about lately is disengaging with the recovery community in your own recovery. And how doing so can actually help your recovery. It's just a trend that I've noticed, and this video is going to be completely opinion-based and not based on fact. But because like I said, this is just a trend that I've noticed. So the trend that I've noticed is when people become super involved and super enmeshed in the eating disorder recovery community, they're either in relapse but not telling anyone that they're in relapse, or they're about to relapse. And I know that seems kind of counterintuitive. Like, if someone's so involved in the recovery community, then how can you say that? How can you say that they're in relapse or that they're about to relapse? And I don't know. I think sometimes being super involved in the recovery community could be another way to still engage with the eating disorder and still have that, still have the eating disorder as a part of your identity. I don't know, I've just seen, like, when people start going to needle walks or smash the scale, or they're constantly posting pictures of themselves when they were in the eating disorder, or not necessarily even like before and after pictures, but just pictures of their face, like, oh god, look how sad I used to be, look at the lack of sparkle in my eyes, or, you know, whatever. When those posts start becoming more frequent, I've noticed that people are struggling at the verge of relapse, or they've already relapsed, and in either case, maybe they're trying to convince themselves that recovery is worth it, or they're trying to, like, upsell recovery to themselves. I don't know. And like I said, this is just a trend that I've noticed. I'm not saying if you go to, like, the smash the scale things, or the walks, or the alumni events, or whatever, that, you know, you're obviously about to relapse, or you're already in relapse. Like, that's not at all what I'm trying to say, because I don't know you. I don't know, something that I've noticed just in my own recovery is, you know, the more disordered I am, the more enmeshed in any eating disorder recovery I become. Even if that is the eating disorder recovery community, like, it's still, for me, sometimes it's still a way to engage in the eating disorder, and I find that the further along I get into recovery and the closer I get to remission, the less I'm interested in anything eating disorder related, even eating disorder recovery related. Like, I just become not interested, and sometimes even become annoyed, like, oh my god, I don't care about this anymore, like, I don't want to talk about this. Obviously, I'm still in a place where these things matter. I'm still in a place where these things matter to me, because I'm still making videos about it, so it's still very much a part of my life. But I expect that it will become less so as I get further along. As I get further along in recovery. Because that's what happened to me last time. You know, I reached a state of pretty stable recovery and maybe remission a couple years ago, and I just did not care about anything related to eating disorders ever. Like, I just didn't. And I even found the topic a little monotonous and tedious and just, like, so repetitive, because if you have an eating disorder, you know how fucking repetitive everything is. Like, it's so same shit, different day, every day, for months and months and months, and years and years and years. However, I also know a lot of people that are still involved in the recovery community. You know, they still go to events, they write posts about their recovery, and it's still a passion of theirs to help other people. So obviously, there's still a thin line between being enmeshed in the eating disorder recovery community and having a passion for helping others. And I think a lot of people say, well, I have a passion for helping others, when really they're still kind of enmeshed in their eating disorder identity. And that's just a distinction that has to be made with each individual, because it's different for everyone, and it both might be true. I fucking hate it when my therapist says that. Both could be true. I'm like, no! I need it to be yes or no, black and white. Stop. But, oh, you guys are a little sideways, sorry. But both can be true. You can still be engaged with the recovery community because you have a passion for helping others, and because you still want your eating disorder to be a part of your identity. or you haven't moved away from that part of your identity. But like I said, you know, it's so individual that it's really just it may be part of someone's journey. They may move from, you know, being involved in the recovery community because they don't want to let go of the eating disorder and kind of segue into being involved because they care. So I guess my challenge for everyone that's watching this video still, first of all, congrats for making it this far. And second of all, if you find yourself making tons of recovery-oriented posts, or you're thinking about recovery a lot of the time, and you consider yourself to be in a stable recovery or remission, because if you're early in recovery, you know, these thoughts are still going to dominate your headspace, which is fine. That's just part of early recovery. But you know, if you've been in recovery for a while, maybe just think about why you're still involved in the eating disorder recovery community so heavily. It might be disordered, it might be because you care. I don't know, I think just thinking about it might help you understand yourself a little bit, which is probably like one of the most cheesy things I've ever said ever. But it's true, like sometimes I think about the reasons behind things that I do, and I learn something about myself, and I'm like, God damn it, maybe I should think about these things more often. But I don't know, just thinking about these kind of things helps you develop an identity outside the eating disorder. Just, you know, being aware of why you do what you do. So anyway, that is my message. I hope you're all doing well. If you have any feedback, I'd love to hear from you. If not, that's cool too. Yeah, I guess that's it. Now I'm just waiting for the timer to give up because I can't press stop.